Today on Grey's Anatomy, all we do is talk about friendships. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, AfterBuzzers. Welcome back to AfterBuzz TV. We are here doing Grey's Anatomy, episode I Wear the Face. Interesting title. I'm your host, Marisa Serafini. You can follow me on Twitter at SerafiniTV. Joining me, I have...
Hi, I'm Tara Johnson. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TJ Wagging Her Tail.
And I'm Jay Howard. You can find me everywhere on social media at JF Howard.
There we go.
Emphasis on the F.
F.
I just love that.
Don't forget the F.
Frickin' Howard. That's not what it stands for.
I Wear the Face. Interesting episode about relationships and friendships being in question. What were your quick thoughts about this? Jay, let's start with you.
There was a lot that went on this episode, huh?
Yeah.
It felt a little. It was good. It was a little. It felt a little jumbled to me. All in all, I would say it was a decent episode that felt like there might have been just a little bit too much going on in the episode.
Mm-hmm. Tara, how about you?
For me, it seemed as if there were a lot of people in rooms and in back of ambulances that were very uncomfortable. But I also will vote for my favorite couple now to be Catherine Avery and Richard Weber. Couple of the year.
They were killing it.
Couple of the year.
Yeah, they were good.
Saying.
They were good.
I mean, so many people can learn from their relationship.
Yeah.
What are the primary lessons you're taking from their relationship?
I say just wisdom. Wisdom. And know how to talk to your significant other in a proper way. It's like you understand a way that you're going into something, but now realizing the reason why you approach something that way, be like, no, this isn't about you, it's about others.
Right. And I think they know each other, so they know how to approach each other. Like Richard giving her surgery was just brilliant.
Yes.
She equated it to like flowers, and he was like, no, this just gets you in a room so you can listen,
So generally, boys and girls out there, try to have good conversations over surgery.
Learn from
That's
them.
basically what we learned.
It's all about communication.
Cool. Over surgery.
Get it in when you can.
Perfect.
All right. Well, let's actually just start with Owens. Owens and Riggs, of course. I mean, they still have their bro tension going on, and Meredith is also just a part of that. But so we see them. They're on this. They have to go to another hospital to get a heart for a very important surgery, because if the heart fails, then they can't get the liver either. It's one of those type of surgeries. What did we think of Owen's behavior towards Riggs, now finding out that Riggs months ago offered a drink to Amelia, not knowing that she was an alcoholic, but Riggs that sets Owen off. But what did you think of his behavior professionally, personally, during this whole operation when they're trying to get the heart?
Here's the thing. You could tell, and this was acted really well. It was one of those things where Owen had already decided. He's like, all right, I don't really know what's gonna kick this fight off, but I'm gonna keep my eyes open to find something to kick this fight off. So whether it was the Amelia drink thing was just like that was just a random spark, you know what I mean, that set off the whole war. It could have been anything. He was looking for a fight, you know what I mean,
and it was going to be anything. If it wasn't Amelia in the drink, it was he had the wrong jacket on, or he didn't like the angle which he was sitting and the sun was hitting his face. Like, it just did not matter.
No, but you got to remember why this particular, you got to remember it was Amelia.
That's true.
No, but just that's someone personally close to Owen. Yet another person who Owen, is really connected to, maybe considers as family, someone who's near and dear to him. And because we actually learned the truth about Riggs, because the information that we received weeks ago was saying that Riggs had to decide who to go on the helicopter or not, if it was Owen's sister. But we've actually found out the truth from Owen.
Oh, yeah.
Well, are we sure that's the truth? Because one of them's lying now.
We find out
How do we know that
side.
Owen's not lying?
Fair enough. We find out Owen's side. But I think Owen's behavior and how just angry at him, I actually believe Owen over than Riggs.
That's true.
Yeah, I believe when Owen finally confronted Riggs at the end of the episode, Riggs' expression or lack thereof, to me was like, oh my gosh, okay, so it really has come out. What am I supposed to do?
And I kind of feel like that's been, if you actually look at their whole relationship and the tension in their relationship, it's kind of been like Owen's been really, really mad about this one specific thing, and Riggs has kind of just tried to skirt around it. Like, it's one of those like, I don't really want to get in this fight right now because it's not going to be good news for me if I do, so I'm going to try, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I don't know. You're probably right. I mean, it probably was Riggs was lying, or telling his version, his perception of the story, whatever. And Owen was probably telling the truth.
Yeah, I can see and understand why Owen is more upset in this situation because it was we had the Amelia factor in it, but yet it was someone that was personally connected to him set him off, be like, hey, you already ruined something or some like semblance of my family already. Don't ruin my current one right now.
Yeah, I think we forget, I forget that Owen used to be chief. So literally everything and anything down to the instruments in the emergency room, he considers in some respect his family, him, a part of him. So the fact that when Riggs walked in the door, he was just already in the wrong place, in the wrong situation. He can do no right in this man's eyes. Like, he just can't do, he can do no right.
And that's why I say, I don't even think that's why I kind of disagree with what you said as far as the thing with Amelia. I mean, I guess it does seem more sensitive that it was Amelia. But to me, whenever they got in the ambulance, he had already decided. He had already decided, like, I'm going to pick a fight on something. And the Amelia thing just happened to be the first thing that came up.
He was angry that Riggs was late, but that's understandable when you're under time crunch and you're trying to get something as vital as a heart. Yeah, that does come into play, and then they had the rush hour. So I think there were other outside things to already set him off and not put him in the best mood. But interesting. I just saw, like, I understand Owen was angry. I thought it was just a little too much until they finally gave us a reason to. I was like, all right, he's mad.
Yeah, I mean, this is taken. I mean, when Owen first came on the show, we saw him dealing with his PTSD, and he was really sensitive. But this is really taking him completely in a really angry, not like an angry, I'm upset, I can't handle it, I'm trying to process something. This is like real anger from Owen.
It's like rage.
Yeah, like we've never seen before. It's so unlike his character.
And I guess that's why we believe him, right? We believe his side of the story.
I believe you, Owen.
I believe Owen's more only because...
And you're just scared of him. That sounded like, I believe you, Owen.
You, Owen.
Just don't scream at me, please.
I believe Owen's more because he's more the protagonist of just the Grey's Anatomy storyline than Riggs is. Because Riggs is the new person we don't trust or know fully yet. We know Owen.
So do you think Riggs is going to be the new... I don't know. Are we going to end up hating him? Do you think?
Compared to the people who don't already?
Right. I mean, the truth, the truth does taint him a little bit, in my opinion, I have to say. It's a couple things. If what Owen said is really the truth, that's just, that's shady. I can't get with that anyway. Just on the whole, like, man and, dealing and cheating thing. But if he's also lying, that's just a double strike to me, So I just... He needs to do something to redeem himself. There's, he's attractive, but that's all you got going for you right now, Riggs. That's all I got for you.
And the thing is, like, basically from the second he came in to the hospital and to the storyline, that has been the only... Like, there's really been no other story around him besides that. He was brought in for that reason, so...
Yeah, and because, we got the somewhat side of Riggs a few weeks ago, and we still see Owen angry. We kind of, just as audience members watching him, we're like, no, it's something else that's bothering him.
Yeah.
And I think we finally kind of actually got the truth, hopefully. I want to say that's actually the truth from Owen.
I think that's Owen's truth. Clearly, hopefully, Riggs has something. Cannot condone what he did, but maybe there's something else behind it.
During that, Owen had his good point, but Riggs didn't say anything.
No, nothing.
Owen walked away, but Riggs, I feel he has a strong enough personality to have a rebuttal, and he did.
Well, no, Riggs wasn't there when Owen said that.
No. During the conversation when Owen was like, "No, you can't take away these people from me either."
I guess that's true.
And
Yeah.
Owen, fair enough, he walked away, but Riggs had that opportunity to say something, and he didn't.
Was silent.
So
here's my
that's
question:
why I say
is there more to the story that we don't like?
I think we might find out more.
Yeah, because
honestly, they've just dragged the storyline.
Yeah.
so
I know.
long.
I thought we had
Kinda
the whole
actually
story
just
like 6
losing
episodes
my-
ago.
Are you losing your patience with the Riggs Owen?
Losing's like I'm
brawl?
losing interest.
We were kind
Yeah.
of like, where are we going with this? Like, what's
And yet
what is?
we've been talking about it for 10 minutes,
Yeah.
so let's move on. All right.
And Marissa lays down the law.
Marissa's spicy today. She's
It makes
spicy.
me mad, you guys. It does. All right. Let's get to. So the residents are having this cool thing that's going for them: the Preminger Research Grant that they're all eligible to sign up and apply for. And then we also see Edwards, Joe, and Penny. They're the 3 main residents that kind of focuses on this storyline. But what did you think of Edward's personality? And just from the get-go of this episode, she seemed very self-involved, very cocky. I'm like, girl, that's going to bite you. And sure enough, it did.
Well, hold up, real quick. Let's rewind and back up. Didn't they? I want to say it was like before the winter finale. Didn't they have something where like they got in a fight? The two of them,
Joe and Stephanie, were in a fight.
Oh, that's right. It was Joe and Stephanie.
were in
Okay,
a
yeah,
fight.
that's right. That's right.
Like
it wasn't
a personal,
Penny.
Yeah, it wasn't,
okay,
no, Penny
okay.
wasn't involved.
So
yeah.
have Penny and I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to wrap my brain. Has she? Because everyone's hated her like at some point.
Well,
I'm trying to
I
remember if
don't want to
she's-
say hate. We just questioned her.
No, I think most
I'm saying
of them
all the
hated her.
characters
I
at some
think
point.
Not us, the
Yeah,
characters.
not-
No, I think
oh,
on
the-
the
yeah,
show
the
they
other
all
people
hated
hated
her.
Penny.
Yeah.
So have her and Edwards had anything specific?
No, not really.
I don't think so.
Not yet. But
I didn't
yet
think
this
so.
episode finally did.
Yeah,
so.
and that's why it just kind of came out of nowhere for me. I guess I'm confused over why Edwards is upset because it's like, well, everyone's going for the grant. Why are you upset that she's also going for the grant? Or why are you upset at her?
No, I see it. I mean, I'm not rooting for any sides, but I saw Edwards as her confidence was to the point where it wasn't confident anymore, it was cockiness. And then that, because even at the beginning, she's like, I'm just going to prove myself that I am the wind beneath Amelia's wings.
Yeah.
And it was like, there was just so many moments. She was
Slow your roll.
She was so sure that she was like the best candidate for this grant and got it in her head that she was obviously the best choice to win. And then we had this already tension that, oh, hey, Penny's not going to apply.
Right, yeah.
But then once we find out that Penny does, Edwards is already like, what? Why? And then why are you also taking over an operation that is so like? And there was also just jealousy with Edwards too.
Yeah.
I did not like. I mean, I genuinely like Edwards' character in and of herself. She's cool, but I didn't like what her personality was in this episode tonight.
Yeah, she brought back her cheerleader.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she was the popular
right.
girl,
Yeah,
huh?
She brought that back tonight.
Cheerleader mean girl.
Yeah, she brought the
tonight.
cheerleader mean girl. And I thought that she was, in addition to being cocky, I thought she was really comfortable. Like when she said to Amelia, I've had your back even when you couldn't do your job. I'm like, who are you?
Whoa.
Like, I was like, take a couple steps back, fall back.
Girl, check yourself.
Right, like really on the quick. Like,
That's exactly what I said.
I was like, I cannot believe you're saying this to this person. So I think she's gotten a little too comfortable. And I love when Amelia was like, Amelia didn't say anything except this is the attending. You know, this is the attending
And I love that.
lounge.
That was
it. That's all I had to
By
say.
far the best response that
Yeah.
Amelia could have had. It's like,
That's it.
no, girl. There, I am drawing the line. I am I am the attendant, and you are the resident, and you have no right to say that to me right
Boom.
now.
Yeah,
Amelia had a mic drop moment.
pretty much. Who I felt really bad for was Joe. Like, no one even gave her a shot.
Yeah,
Like,
she was just in her
wasn't
own
even-
little world.
She's like a blip on the screen. Like, it was like, all right, girl,
She was
submit
happy.
that.
She was
but-
having sex. I mean,
Yeah. Like,
she
things
had it
were
that
going
morning. She's
away,
like,
but-
whatever. I don't even care.
but
Who
honestly,
cares?
it was more so the tension from like Edwards, who was so sure she was going to get it, to Penny, who was like, no, I'm not even going to apply. And then you put those two polar opposites together, and it's like, okay, something has to happen.
Yeah. But
I feel like it was more
drama.
embarrassment than anything else. You know what I mean? I wonder
For
'cause
Stephanie losing?
Yeah,
Or-
when you're
Yeah.
when you're that so sure that you're gonna win, you know, the grant or whatever it is, and then you don't. I feel like it's a lot of. I guess she felt betrayed a little bit by Penny, but then
and Amelia, she felt betrayed by both.
that doesn't make sense though, because Amelia said like, "I campaigned for you."
Yeah,
You know
no,
what I'm saying?
I think she definitely did, but I think she's feeling a little betrayed by Amelia only because I think Amelia's taken to Penny so much on her service, but that's what this hospital is. It's a teaching hospital, so that's what the attendant's supposed to do. Like, you have a new resident who's working with you, you test them, you try to teach them. And because Weber switched up everyone's assignments, it's not as if Amelia like picked, Penny over anybody. It was just this is where she's
freaking out a
been
little
assigned.
bit.
Yeah, she's been assigned.
Yep.
It's just, yeah, I get that too, but I mean, in a way, I feel bad to how she just like attacked Penny. It's like, she's from Dillard. That's a terrible insult too.
Well, let's just imagine if Stephanie had won the grant. Good gracious, everyone would have kicked her out of the hospital because her ego,
So cocky.
Yeah.
right, would
Get
have
outta
been
here.
so
Be like,
huge.
you know what? I knew I was gonna win this. I
Yeah.
mean, why even have the nominations?
It's going to make her a better doctor.
Yeah.
She's going to be a better doctor for it.
Yeah.
It makes me think of when she and Jackson were together. Could you remember when they first brought Jackson on the show, how cocky he was? Like, he was like, I mean, he didn't talk about the Avery thing, but he was like, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, of course I'm going to do this. So it seems like when they were together, he wasn't like that, but she's becoming what his character used to be. He used to be really cocky, hot, but really cocky.
Yeah. I think she just needs to check herself right now.
Well, let's see what's going to happen now that she has lost and has to pick her face up and figure it out.
Well, maybe we'll see that in the next episode. Who knows?
Maybe.
But that kind of takes us to, patience. And we have Patient Wilmer Valderrama, a.k.a. Kyle T.S.
Not bad. Not bad.
I mean, he's always awesome.
Real quick, though, if he's a classical guitarist, it's not like he's got all these women all over him. Classical guitarists don't have women all over them.
if you
Are
look
you
like
sure
that,
about that?
He was acting like he was a rock star, and he comes and he's playing like this classical guitar. I'm like, dude, you're not a freaking rock star.
No, he was only amping up his. I mean, granted, he had awesome guitar skills, but he was amping up his personality because he was so flirting hard with Edwards.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
He was trying to sell
No
himself
classical
as a
guitar
rock
guys
star,
are
too.
getting are getting the ladies.
if you look like
Are you
that,
sure about that?
I think you get.
You think
it
he's good
regardless.
I don't know. I think there are some women out there who'd be like, panties drop.
For classical guitar?
For any musician, what? So I mean,
All right.
did you see him strum those strings? I'm just saying.
But that's
You
what
were,
I'm
wa-
saying.
you
I'm
were
saying.
watching him a little too closely.
I'm just
Shoot.
saying.
Can we
that
back
was
that up?
sexy.
That was.
And
You know, guys, I play guitar too.
Well, see, look.
So-
do you?
But see, you playing
do.
for your wife. There you go.
That's true. That's how I got her.
And bam, there
You're
you
freaking
go.
right.
There you go.
Are you a rock star? Let's not get into that. But all right, so Kyle Diaz, he actually has the whole operation is like DBS, deep brain stimulation. He's suffering from multiple sclerosis and he's having a tremor, and it's actually his right hand, and he can't play even though he has this big gig that can be career changing. He's like, terrible timing. I got to get this fixed.
Yeah, dropping panties all over the country.
We got to keep them dropping.
In 13 different cities, he's trying to drop panties
well,
everywhere.
he's working. All right, at least he's working.
Hit the ground.
So this operation, they have to actually operate on his brain, open brain kind of surgery, while he's still conscious and playing his guitar.
You think, real quick, you'd think they'd give him a heads up. Hey, you might lose your speech. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
like, that happens sometimes. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean,
It'd
if
be
you-
nice for you to
if
let me know that
go over a
beforehand.
big operation like that, you think they would say all the symptoms that could possibly or
they've
side
done
effects that
everything.
can happen
Yeah,
during this.
yeah.
Complications.
Everything.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But it was kind of cool because being a musician / maybe a singer for his character, it'd be completely a bigger surprise when he himself realizes that he might also lose that talent as well.
Yeah, yeah, that was pretty shocking. I will say, I do not like Amelia's cockiness. She comes, I mean, and maybe you have
When
to
was
just
she
have
cocky?
in surgery and the way she walks. To me,
No.
the way she,
No, that
to-
wasn't cocky.
I thought it was cocky.
What was cocky about it? She was confident. You want your brain surgeon to be cocky. I promise you
I
that.
totally get that. I totally get that. But sometimes I was like, but there's a fine
man.
line between cockiness and confidence.
No. I'll say, because I don't think that was cockiness. I thought that was confidence, because you got to remember who's the rock star when they said Amelia was the rock star. Amelia wasn't saying that. That was actually Edwards
that's
calling
true. That's
Amelia
true.
a rock star.
That's true.
I'm just
Amelia
saying.
was
I
literally
want.
just doing her job. I mean, there was nothing wrong with Amelia in tonight's episode.
Yeah, get off her back.
Oh, okay.
Why do you hate Amelia? Leave her alone.
Are you kidding me? Amelia was great in this episode.
We don't even have to get started.
Why does she hate Amelia? She always does this.
I don't hate Amelia. I just think at the end of the episode when she said I'm annoying, I said amen. That's what I said.
Okay.
Yeah, you did, but at least you recognized that.
What? I said amen. I'm agreeing with you, girl. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but so during the procedure, his face starts to do. They pretty much have just a scare fright moment, but it's all good. And then he started playing the guitar. So fortunately, it was a successful surgery.
Is he coming back? Do we know, or was this a one-off?
Actually, I believe that it's a multiple episode.
Oh, okay. So they're gonna keep him around for a love interest.
Just a couple more episodes.
Stephanie's gonna get some,
I'm
maybe.
all for it. I'm all for it. But he was flirting hardcore with Edward.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You haven't seen the inside of my apartment, but you've seen the inside of my brain. Like, geez, man,
Yeah.
coming
it
in
was a
hot.
bit much. It was a bit much. Maybe
guess
it'll
you
help
gotta-
calm her down.
You got to swing for the fences if it might be your last.
Maybe.
I
It's
don't
Kind
know.
of like it was
It was
an
icky.
interesting, sincere, but I mean, it was like calm, like all right.
It was a little much.
It was a little
It's a little
smooth
much.
talking.
See, that proves my point.
Smooth
If he was so good at guitar, he wouldn't have to say all that stuff.
I don't know about that.
My point right
I
there.
think game. Every man tries to spit some game every now and again.
Well, he's a very talented. He has skills. All right.
Yeah.
He has physical skills playing a guitar, and then he has verbal skills at flirting.
Yeah.
It's saying awkward stuff.
Well, I mean, if that works for him, sure.
I guess it does.
Do you
Got him
think
through
it
that
works
surgery.
for Edwards, though?
I think she was digging it. Yeah.
I think in some level, I think anybody would dig it. But her response was, he's a distraction. Which in the next couple episodes, when he comes back, we'll see if she's still singing that tune. I think she might be singing a different one.
How is he going to interact with the Grant stuff? Is that do you feel like he's going to come in and since she didn't get that, now she gets him instead type thing, or?
She needs something to help relax her, or, something. I don't know.
I don't think Edwards needs a man in her life to
Oh.
straighten her out. I think Edwards is fine. She just needs to get over herself first.
But I like the way he was speaking to her, and he was like, you and I are very similar,
I like that.
I like that. So he gave her some perspective in the fact that, you got to realize that these people, you may, share, a bottle of wine with them, but there's still competition no matter what it comes down to. You may try to smooth that over, but when it needs to come out, it comes out.
So that played kind of strange for me. That whole idea of like, because usually that was at the end of the episode where usually it's a little bit more contemplative and like kind of moral of the story. Like the voiceover kind of gives the moral of the story kind of thing. And it was during that time that he said like the thing is about I thought they were my friends, but then I just learned they were competition. And it just sounded kind of weird to me. I was kind of like, okay, that sounds kind of strange. What am I supposed to learn from that?
No, but like I liked how he brought that up because that completely parallels what just happened with Edwards and Penny. She thought that they were friends, and it's like, no, in the end, they are all just competitors.
No, but what I'm saying is this. I think it should have been the other way. I feel like it kind of, I don't know, it felt weird at the end of the episode. I feel like he should have said, I feel like he should have told a different story, in my opinion. That he should have told a different story. And that it should have ended up and said, like, I thought they were competition, ended up being my friends. You know what I'm saying?
You wanted a kumbaya moment.
I do.
Yeah.
And Kyle gave you a look, girl, this is down and dirty. Yeah, this is down and dirty.
As ideal as that would have been, it wouldn't have made Edwards realize like what she just was in this whole episode.
Yeah.
So I actually like the fact that Kyle, who went through the same experience, can also put Edwards into perspective. It's like, hey, I know what that's like.
Right. And take it for what it is.
Learn from this lesson.
Learn from it.
I'm just a hopeful guy. I just want it to end well.
I get that. And that's
that.
sweet.
You guys are just downers.
No, I'm
Just
realistic.
downers. What if he would have said what I said and he would have like sang it?
See,
What then? Then you guys would be singing a different tune. If he would have made it like a song, he's like, I
But
wrote
yet
this
he
song for you.
didn't.
he didn't,
I'm
then
just
I would have
saying.
enjoyed it, but then I
What
think
if?
that would have felt a little weird.
Probably.
I'm just saying.
Not a little bit, but
But you know what's not weird?
what's not weird?
DraftKings.
DraftKings.
DraftKings. Have you guys heard of DraftKings? Of course.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
DraftKings is awesome. If you guys are big into sports, which I'm like here at AfterBuzz we are. I'm a big NBA fan. If you guys don't know,
Who's your team?
basketball is awesome.
Are you
I love
Lakers
Boston
fan?
Celtics.
Okay, cool.
I love LeBron.
Don't judge me, guys. I have my reasons.
You
but
guys are East
they're
Coast.
Awesome.
You can judge me. I love LeBron.
But if you go to DraftKings.com and actually use the promo code BUZZ, B-U-Z-Z, you get a free week of DraftKings and whatnot. And the cool thing about DraftKings is, like, if you go there, you can, like, put in all your stats, and then you pick your players and whatever, and you can maybe win up to $1 million.
I would like $1 million.
I'll take it.
And you make some money in cash and pay off those school, student loans. There you go. I would.
That would take like the full $1 million for me.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
Full $1 million.
For sure.
Or send Tara a gift of $1 million.
Yes.
Send us all. Or split it
P.O.
in
Box
three. There you go.
207.
Send to us. But yeah, so you go there, and the cool thing was you can win up to $1 million, and if you don't, it's okay, because in a week you could just redo it over and over again. That's the awesome thing about
Until you win the
DraftKings.
million.
Until you win.
Done.
It changes every week.
There you go.
There's no commitments, whatever. Just go to DraftKings.com, use the promo code BUZZ, and there, it's awesome. And that's where, just have fun. DraftKings.com, promo code BUZZ. All right.
There you go.
Let's get to our other patient of the night, Jenny. Oh,
It's about to make me mad. This whole storyline pissed me off, man.
really?
It yeah, not in like the
feel
we're
like I
talking
need
about it, so I gotta like make my emotions even bigger because we're I gotta act like I really this really matters to me. No, it really did make me mad because
Okay, have some.
Should I move over a little bit?
Yeah,
Are
maybe
am I
you should.
safe? Like, what's
Well,
going on?
I'm sitting here. I don't have kids, but I'm like, they don't want to tell the mom that she's. I said, well, she's 14. She should be able to make her own decision. I'm like, no, she's 14. She can't make her own decisions yet. And they didn't. They waited to tell the mom they were going to let this 14-year-old decide. They basically did for a little while. Let the 14-year-old decide what was best for her health because she didn't want to tell the mom about a baby. And they're sitting here talking about. They're trying to make the argument that the mom shouldn't know. Like it's not the mom's right to know. I'm like, man, if I have a kid and they're living under my roof, I don't mean to go like old Southern roots, but if they're living under my roof and I'm paying for, I'm feeding them, like, you better freaking tell me. You know what I'm saying?
I get that. Tara,
I
do
get
you
that.
feel the same way?
I mean,
I felt passionate about it.
no, and
Apologize.
no, it's
No, that's
okay.
great.
It's all right. I didn't get any bows or anything
here
like
for
that, so I
opinions,
think I
guys.
made it through. I think it's a difficult place to be because I do understand. One, it's the law. Like they just don't have legally. They don't have
What?
the obligation to
It's-
tell the mom.
No, that's not true.
Doctor-patient confidentiality.
Is doctor-patient-
For a 14-year-old?
in that
No.
in that
Patient.
in that
Well, that's wrong.
If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, and I think it's different in every state, but at the age of 14, when it comes to kind of sexual matters and that kind of thing, you don't it's doctor patient
Well, that's wrong.
confidentiality.
That law needs to be changed in.
I mean, 14. Yes, that is young.
young.
But you can get legally medically emancipated at even a younger age than 14. Yeah, believe it or not. You
Why?
can. Because that's how the world works.
You know?
The world's stupid.
So I mean, in that case, she's pregnant. Once she becomes pregnant, she is a mom. So it's this like her mom wants to protect her. She wants to protect her kid.
crazy.
I mean, it's difficult, but it's what these medical professionals deal with every day. So I thought it was really ironic that April was the one who was pushing so much to
Yeah.
tell.
I liked this though.
Right, but then April, it's like we need to protect her kid, but then you can make an argument that maybe April's not doing everything she needs to do to protect her own kid.
And you can make the argument that, sorry, not to.
Oh, no, you're
interrupt you,
fine.
But
I
you
was
can
just
make
like,
the argument that April's also a doctor in and of herself, and she is an actual legal adult to make her own decisions. So there's that fine line of who's really the hypocrite here.
Right, it was a lot of what is it? The pot calling the kettle. A lot
Kettle
of black.
black,
It's all
exactly.
Here's the deal. I need
Lot
to
of black
make
kettles
sure that
going
I'm not in like the studio with a couple of crazies. Would you have told the mom yes or no?
I would have told the mom.
Would you have? Don't do this to me.
I can't
But-
promise you that I would have.
Are you serious?
I think morally,
Oh my gosh.
yes.
morally, you should tell the
Morally, I would want to.
mom.
Legally,
But
I can't
also,
believe you right now.
Legally, you
legally
can't.
you can't.
Can't
That's
believe
the
I'm sitting
thing.
next to you.
You love it, but so that is the fine line that
But
you
there's
know.
also, you have to remember that Jenny, this patient, this 14-year-old girl, made April promise her to not tell the mom.
So? A promise with a 14-year-old girl?
Well, you're
that
dealing
didn't
with
mean
the 14.
anything.
Oh,
I think that was like a factor that made it even more worse than it was, because now April has just a moral obligation to uphold a promise, let alone just telling a mother what should.
I'm sorry. A promise to a 14-year-old girl is not a moral obligation.
I hear what you're saying. I mean, I agree with what you're saying, but legally it's just an obligation. And I loved how Arizona, as a mother, I mean, I think we forgot because, you know, she mentioned to April, you're feeling this way because you're about to be a mom. She never said and threw it up in her face and said, yeah, I'm a mom. She was like, you are her doctor. You have a legal obligation. Boom. Like, that's.
I just don't understand how that's legal. For a 14-year-old girl, she can choose not to tell her mom something that's going on with her health.
Yes.
It's her legal guardian.
And when it comes to making medical decisions, it depends on the state, but at particular different ages.
Oh, man.
I think, and it's also, we have that.
I'm never moving to Seattle.
I think we have the other factor that we have the doctor-patient confidentiality thing that holds over everybody's heads.
Yeah.
For every episode.
All the time.
It's frustrating. What do you guys think? Let us know. Tweet at us, live chat it. We're in the live chat.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's the whole struggle. Like, morally you feel one way, but you have another obligation. So I can't promise you that I would have told. Maybe I would have tried to send her Morse code or something, or
like smoke signals or something.
Be a pity.
I don't know. Morally,
the
mother should have known.
Yes.
But in this situation, she could not have known.
Right.
I would have told her.
I got a question.
All right.
Would you feel this strongly if it was a 14-year-old boy
instead
of a 14-year-old girl?
Yes. 100%.
Well, there he
Absolutely.
goes.
A boy wouldn't be pregnant.
Yeah,
whatever the situation is.
Yeah, a boy wouldn't
100%.
be pregnant.
But if a boy gets a girl pregnant at 14, he still has that hard decision to go home and tell his parents that he's now a father and has responsibility to take care of a life.
I promise you, I would hold the boy to the same standard that I held the girl. I promise you. Because I was thinking about that same thing while we were watching. I was like, would I be feeling this differently if it was a boy? And my answer is no. Same thing. If I'm in a situation where I'm supposed to be taking care of you and you're not telling me, that's wrong. It's wrong.
I get it, but I hate to say it, but I think the law is the same even if it is a boy. So if it was a boy, you'd still have the same.
You still have the same issues too.
Same issues.
But it's also just the condition that Jenny was in. She had a medical emergency that affected her personally and the child. Mm-hmm. Therefore, added the tension and made this problem even bigger than it was.
Right. Well, that's what Arizona said. We need her consent to do the surgery.
Yeah.
Just do the surgery, but we are not supposed to disclose the pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the question, Mr. Producer. Thank you, sir. Keeping me accountable, making sure I'm honest.
I would love to know what you guys think.
But the boy wouldn't have to deal with medical problems.
That's true.
Yeah.
So,
but April,
I get it.
April is having to make the decision of whether or not to tell her, and she does. She tells her.
She does.
Good job, April. I'm proud of you. Very proud of you.
Okay, now in comparison for that, maybe good or not good for April, that's up to your decision. But April now doing something that she got so mad at Arizona for doing something.
Amen.
That's what was interesting.
Same thing. Now what do you think of that?
Tell it, speak it.
So much irony.
So much irony. Now that this happens, do you think this really brings April and Arizona now kind of back together as friends?
I mean, it basically did.
Kind of resolve that tension?
It kind of did.
In a way.
I mean, at the end, they became friends.
They're on talking terms now.
I'm not saying that was the whole reason they became friends at the end, but it kind of did. It played into it, I think, is that they both saw each other's perspectives.
I don't know. I didn't see that April saw her perspective. I just saw April in a state of desperation, and she just needed someone to talk to. And for whatever reason, because she's trying to hide this secret, she feels fairly isolated. And it doesn't seem as if anyone's coming down on her. I mean, she doesn't want to talk to Arizona because of what happened between the two of them, but it's not as if like no one else will talk to her, but she seems to be isolating herself quite a bit.
But I think it's great that Arizona is the person that she's talking to because really the whole problem was between those two. And it makes sense that let's put them back together and then work out their differences.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. I mean, of course, Arizona will do anything to get April to talk to her again. So if it's listening to her rant, if it's being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he's doing that, she's going to do it.
Yeah.
That was a good moment at the end of the show. I appreciated that when April was freaking out and needed someone to talk to, and just like that's what a friend is. Even in tough, when you're kind of like, hey, this is awkward. We've been in a fight, but I'm still here for you. I still want to hear you. You can rant to me, you know?
There's your kumbaya moment.
Yeah, there you go.
Grace,
I needed that. I was so hot for like 10 minutes there that I needed to get cooled down. I think I'm done. I'll see you guys next week.
There you go.
Friendships, you guys. That's the whole theme of today's episode.
Yeah, it's so
friendships
better.
being in question. Shoot. So much. Okay, so they're on talking terms, but we realized, I mean, maybe we'll save them to the end. But another friendship being tested, or not really tested, but Callie and Penny. Penny wins the grant. Good for her.
Yeah.
That's a surprise to everyone. Or I mean, that was like, I don't know what you call that.
Callie had a weird reaction when that happened.
She did, and I was gonna ask, like, what do you think Callie is actually truly genuine and wants this for Penny, or happy that Penny won?
But this grant takes the person away for a
3
year
months
or
or
so.
To the actual center, the Primary Research Center.
Where is
right?
that? Where did they say that was?
It's across the country.
Yes, across the... No, I don't think I mean, of course she's happy for her because the person that she loves got a fantastic opportunity. But does she want her... Does she want to help her pack? No. I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
Jay, what do you think?
Well, I couldn't tell if that interaction, if we were supposed to like read into it a ton, or if it was just supposed to be like surprise, like, oh, well, okay, cool, I didn't think about that, or if we were supposed to read more deeply into it. My assumption is it'll probably cause problems in their relationship.
I think so too.
Yeah.
At some point.
I didn't really know, and I think we might have touched on this last week, where else we were going to go with this Penny character. So her
I wonder if she's just piecing out
yeah,
here.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
She
I don't think
winning
we're
is
going
great.
anywhere. I think she's going away.
I think she's going away. I think this is a way to get her out, because what else are we supposed to do with her? No offense, Penny.
Yeah, I agree, because also if Penny wins this grant and she actually does leave, I don't think Callie and Penny's relationship is strong enough to withstand a long distance relationship.
It's not. No, they'll be done.
So yeah, when Penny leaves,
I kind of felt like they just brought her in for like a season, use her to move some stories forward, and then she's pieced out.
Yeah, like the Derek
She
thing.
hardly moved any stories forward.
You know.
I just don't like her. I don't like her character.
I don't think we know anything about her to like her or not. You know, she's kind of the whole Derek
like,
thing, and then it's just she's just around.
She just kind of seems like that girl like in high school who's like, she's kind of nice. I just don't freaking like her. I don't know why. You know, is that just me? I'm just kind of in a bad mood tonight, guys. Yeah. I apologize.
Shoot. All right.
We go from kumbaya to I just don't like her.
It's up and down. We're on a roller coaster tonight, so hold on.
Right. I think Penny might leave.
And I think it's
that's
it.
the
Swan
end.
song, and that's gone.
That's fine.
That's kind of fine.
How about Weber and Catherine working together, operating
That was good.
once
Loved
again?
it. Loved it.
Very smart on Weber to it's like, hey, we are trapped in an OR. Let's talk. Pretty much. You're a meddler. Don't meddle in Jackson and April's life. What do you think of Weber's logic of this?
I think Catherine Avery seems to be like, I think I was tweeting with someone last week and was like, she's a beast. Like, she's a force to be reckoned with. But the love, respect, whatever she has for her husband, he can speak to her and say, I get all that, but you're still wrong. And I think that is a really interesting place to be, because no one can look at Catherine Avery and say, oh, she's a weak woman, or she's like just listening to her husband or whatever. Like, this is a powerful surgeon who runs a foundation, who pretty much owns this hospital, but she can listen to her, she and her husband can communicate about a really sensitive topic, and she can be receptive. That's what I liked.
And that's what was cool. It seemed like there was a real picture of an actual healthy relationship, and he was able to, she said, just a couple of lines, she said, like, war is ugly, but there are some things worth going to war over. And it's interesting. And then he said later, like, he's talking about her story, like, your story is a sad story, but it's your story. Yeah. It's not theirs. And it was just cool to see him, like, lovingly but very firmly kind of say, like, hey, think about this, A picture of a healthy relationship in a cast of very unhealthy relationships.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and I think he had a great line. He's like, the man who married you didn't know the woman he married. That's it. Didn't
Right.
know the
Right.
woman he married, but I do.
Right.
Yeah.
And that also just shows the differences between the father to Catherine's relationship there and what he did to her mom, and then them two.
I think the line
April
of
Jackson.
the show that I loved was she said he didn't know the hell of the woman that he married. I was like, whoa. Put that on Instagram tomorrow. He didn't know the hell. Like, I thought it was great.
That
but
could
then,
go on a t-shirt.
That could go on a t-shirt. But then when Richard described it, he was like, he didn't realize the woman you know that he married, but I do. So he kind of took that edge off of it, and I think that's what we're seeing. We're seeing this powerful woman who will go to war for anything, and like Richard's love for her is smoothing her out and like calming her down and opening her mind that you don't have to fight for everything.
That's what love does,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You know.
And Kumbaya moment number 2.
There you go.
I needed this, guys. I needed this.
There we go.
Very important.
But this kumbaya moment might have
Oh,
stirred
yeah.
the pot a little too much with April and Jackson. Thank you, Catherine, for that.
Can we blame
lot more
Catherine
drama.
for that? Can we really blame
mean
I
April?
think it's more so.
Wait, you mean Catherine or April?
No. I'm gonna say Catherine only because she planted the seed.
Okay.
Within Jackson to question all of this.
Okay.
And her conversation with Weber was overheard by April. So now I'm not blaming Catherine, but she was a key role in this.
Okay, I can see what
She
you're saying.
did stir that big
She started
old pot.
some stuff going.
I
Okay.
honestly don't think it's anybody's fault. Honestly, because it's kind of like, can you blame her for wanting to protect your grandchildren, future grandchildren?
Right.
And then you know, if you're April, she's doing, she's in her mind, she's like, freaking A, man, they're gonna try to take my kids away. I got to do something, And then obviously Jackson, you're like, yeah, man, good job, Jackson.
Be the better man.
And so I don't know if it's anybody's fault. It's just like a collision of unfortunate consequence, unfortunate coincidences, I guess.
Well, I would say for the great example that we saw in Richard and Catherine of their communication, how they were able to go from opposing sides to some type of, not even agreement, but at least a middle ground. Jackson and April are the exact opposite of what, ineffective or lack of communication will actually do. And so now they're in a completely different situation they started just because April won't talk to Jackson won't talk to April, that kind of thing.
Interesting.
Man,
So,
it just hurt my heart.
April
So bummed.
served the papers to Jackson. You got served. And filing a restraining order.
That's so lame.
Nah, if you think about it from her perspective, it makes sense.
Yeah, but
They're trying to take your kid away.
No, I understand that, but the restraining order isn't against the child because the child isn't born. The restraining order was against, he can't touch or be within a certain distance with April. So I'm wondering what she must have said in court in order to get this. It doesn't take a whole lot, but in order to get this restraining order granted,
If she lied and said like he hit me or something,
he would have had to threaten her physically. And that's what I was like, come on. I mean, you guys work together. I mean, it's just ugly. It's
Yeah.
just ugly.
It was just bad timing, too, because Jackson was wanting no fight, wanting to be a good dad, sends the, baby crib to April, saying, like, we'll, whatever you want to do, we'll do. It was just bad timing.
I feel like that's the whole story of their relationship, though, is they're both so passionate, and they both, sometimes they want to fight and sometimes they want to come together, and they just never freaking match up on the, you know what I mean? When they want to fight for their relationship, it's never at the right time.
I think now it just shows, like, just how far disconnected they are.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's really sad, because I love this relationship, and the fact that now they're so April
far
did
apart.
something, Jackson's mad, who knows what's happened. There are so many factors now that will easily keep them apart.
Oh, I cannot imagine what Catherine's going to do when she hears about this restraining order.
Oh man, she's gonna flip.
She's going to lose
She's gonna be
it.
mad.
Debbie, bring the wrath. That's all I'm going to say. Debbie, bring it.
Because even at the beginning of the episode, Catherine was like, April has all the power. All the power. And now it was like, that just feels fire.
You're in Avery.
It's
Get
gonna
you some
blow
power.
up.
It's just
Feel
not
that
gonna,
flame.
It's not gonna be pretty. It's not
Pretty
gonna be
much.
pretty.
All right, so let's get to
There's no
predictions
hope.
then.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
There's a lot. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Relationships are like completely in question today. So
How about everyone gets a prediction on a different relationship?
okay,
Okay.
all right.
All right.
Is that good?
So choose your first one.
I get to choose?
Yeah,
And choose
just
wisely.
choose your relationship.
Oh gosh. I'll choose Jackson and April. Unfortunately, I think I agree. I predict that she said something in court that was like that he like threatened her or something like that, and so she said something that's gonna cause like irreparable damage to his reputation and their legal relationship.
Yeah.
I think I agree with that. Unfortunately.
How about you?
Which relationship? I guess I'll say Callie and Penny. We should help Penny pack her bags and
See ya, Penny.
help
Penny.
her get a first class flight.
See ya.
See a penny,
and
don't
kinda-
pick it up.
Wouldn't want to be ya.
I mean, I do see Callie, maybe possibly going, but I introduced you to Sophia. And, it being yet another failed relationship, which I will say, Arizona and Callie are no longer together, but whenever they need each other, they are
They're
there
there.
Yep.
for each other.
Yep.
So
I
those
know.
are those moments. So I can see us getting another one of those moments.
You are so smart.
I like
You
it.
are so gosh darn smart.
I
Thank you.
like that.
Thank you.
All right. I think with Owen and Riggs, they're gonna. You know what?
Just go to
How
blows.
about they just fight? Get it
go to
over with.
blows.
Fight.
Be done.
Tell the whole story.
Go to blows.
I mean, they've thrown some punches here and there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Owen hit
I
him.
mean, but the truth is out. I think we're gonna realize how because Owen does tell Meredith we hate that guy,
And yeah.
and I think we kind of do. So
kinda do.
Riggs, you has to go. All right.
Peace.
Anything
Sit
else
next
about
to
this
Penny on the
episode?
plane. Riggs should sit next to Penny on the plane.
There you go.
There you go. There you
They
go.
can both help each other pack each other's
There you
bags.
go.
There you go. All right. So in the meantime, where can everyone keep following you and all that fun stuff?
You can find me at all things social media, JF Howard.
I love the F, Howard. I'm TJ wagging her tail.
And you can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV. You can follow all of us here, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those fun places at AfterBuzz TV. Rate, comment, subscribe, iTunes, YouTube, the website, all fun places. Let us know what you liked about this episode, what you didn't like about this episode. And we'll definitely talk to you guys there.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone for tuning in, watching, listening, and we will see you next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.